Hello, fourth graders. Coming back for some more of lesson 6.4 today, right? Introducing some long division here, some dividing, a fourth grade staple. Your parents probably remember doing this in fourth grade as well, and it probably seemed a little confusing yesterday. And you know what? That's pretty normal. And as we work some more, that's why we're going to work some more on it today. Here was the question. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? How does this help us when we are dividing? Each one of these words stands for a different thing that we're supposed to do, right? D for divide, M for multiply. What was the S for? Do you remember? S for subtract. C is for check. And I'm going to remind you of what we check. And then B is for bring down. So if you can remember, does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? You can divide these numbers. All right. Straight numbers here today. Not a lot of, no word problems that I'm going to throw at you. I just want to make sure that we get really good at doing these problems. Okay. As we're starting here, this is what, when you write on your paper, you should write, does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers down the side? If you don't do this, you might get lost. Okay. In fact, that's very common for people just to kind of get lost here. And then also remember that we're going to not look at the second number yet. Okay. We're going to keep that hidden behind a secret wall here. And it's going to be a secret bluish wall. Is that a bluish color? All right. And so when we look at this, D for divide. All right. How many sevens go into 9? All right. So I count by sevens. Ready? 7, 14. Wait. Oh, that's too much. 14 is too much. So there is 1 7 that fits into 9. Right? Another way to think about that is if you had 9 people, how many teams of 7 could you make? You could make 1 team, right? You'd have people left over. So I have now divided. M was for, what do I do? What do I do now? I need to multiply 1 times 7. And you can put a little time sign here if you want. Some people like that. Some people don't like that. 1 times 7 is 7. Check mark, right? S for subtract. 9 minus 7 is 2. And C is for to check. So what are we checking? We're checking to make sure that this number is smaller than this number. If it's not, maybe I'll show you one of those later since I didn't last time. If this number is not smaller than what you have over here, then you made a mistake and you have to back up. Hey, but ours is, so we'll put a check mark here. And B for bring down. What do we bring down? Well, we bring down this extra number, right? This 1, we're going to bring it down. And we're going to put it right here next to the 2. Now we have 21. And now we can divide again. Right? So we're always dividing by the same thing. So when we get to the end, we go back to the top. Here we have 21 divided by 7. How many 7s are in 21? 7, 14, 21. Hey, that worked out perfectly. It was 3. 3 7s. Now, answers to division problems go on the top. On the top. Watch. On the top. Okay? Now, what do I multiply? What do I multiply? Well, I just wrote a 3. And we're always multiplying times whatever is here. 3 times 7. Don't do 13. You already multiplied this 1 times 7. You did that way back at the beginning. 3 times 7. 3 times 7 is 21. And then subtract 0. Now, they're not always going to be zeros. I'm going to start to show you some ones that aren't zeros in a moment here. And check 0. Is 0 smaller than 7? Sure is. and B for bring down, but there's nothing to bring down. This is how we know we're finished. So our answer here is 13. Which part do you have down really well? Like you're like, okay, I know this part. What part is the best for you right now? And what part is the trickiest part? All right, so that can continue to remain tricky but once we start practicing, that'll be easier and easier as you go through. All right, here we go. Look at this one. All right, this one's going to be a little different. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Right? I'm going to suggest that you write this down with me. Okay, you can watch if you think that you're still kind of confused. All right, and we're going to get out our little number here. Oh, I copied it. And we're going to ask ourselves, how many nines are in 5? All right, I'm going to count by nines. Ready? 9. Wait a minute. I'm already past the number. If I have 5 people, can I make any teams of 9? No. I can make 0. Nothing. I can't. If I have 5 of something, I cannot make groups of 9. So when this happens, what you do is you now look at this number also and treat this as a whole group, right? 57. So how many 9s are in 57? Well, let's see. So counting by 9's not usually the easiest thing. You can if you want. I'm going to use what I know about multiplication. 9 times 5 gets me to 57, but 9 times 6 gets me to 54, right? If I go 9 times 7, that would be 63. That would be too much. So my answer here is there are 6 9s in 57, right? Because 9 times 6 is 54. That's almost 57. We want to know how much, but we can't go over. Right? So now I have divided. Multiply. I just wrote a 6 times 9. 6 times 9, we just talked about it, is 54. What should I do now? Okay, I'm going to put a check mark here and then subtract and get 3. Check. All right. Yep, that's smaller. 3 is smaller than 9. And B for bring down. Oh, uh-oh. What do you notice? There's nothing left to bring down. All right, so this will happen sometimes. In the other problems that we saw pretty much all day yesterday, when we did the last lesson, we ended up with 0 here, right? 0. But it will not always end up like that because there's nothing left to bring down, but I have some extras left over. In math, in division, we call the extras left over a remainder. And so what do we do with the remainder? We put it up here as part of the answer. We write an R for remainder and then a 3. So our answer here is 6 with a remainder of 3. All right, what was the remainder again? Yes, it's the leftovers. All right, let's go again here. What do I need to do down the side? Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? All right, here we go. Divide. Let's get out my little card here to cover. You can cover it when you're writing on your paper. You can cover it with another piece of paper or a Post-it note or even just your finger. All right, how many 4s are in 8? So, right, 4 times what gets me close to 8, but I can't go over. Or I can count by 4s, right? How many 4s are in 8? 4, 8, 12. 12 is too much. So 4, 8. 2 of them, right? 2 4s. So I just divided. Now what do I do? Multiply. 2 times 4 is 8. S for subtract and get 0. What am I checking here? What do I need to check? Not check your work. If you just type check your work, I want you to listen. You're checking to see if this number is smaller than this number. Okay? I still need to show you what happens when that's not true. I will. Bring down. We have this problem. We have something to bring down. Its name is 5. We'll bring it down here, put it right next to this 0. And then, all right. Oh no, I'm stuck. Oh no, I'm stuck. What do I do? Go back to the beginning. Divide. We're still dividing by 4. We're always dividing by the same number. So now we have 5 divided by 4. How many 4s would be in 5? So let's see. 4, 8. Wait, 8's too much. So only 1, right? 4. 4 times 1 is 5. 4 times 2 is too much, right? So the answer is 1. Where does the 1 go? The 1 goes on top here, right? Division answers go on top. Now I multiply. What 2 numbers do I multiply? 1 times 4. Always multiply the number you just wrote times, we know, always times this number out here. 1 times 4 equals 4. S for subtract. And check. Yep, 1 is smaller than 4. Nothing left to bring down. And so this 1, what's this 1? Yep, it is the remainder. Remainder of 1. All right, I want to run through 2 more quick problems. I'm going to do this second one, and you're going to do the first one because I want to show you what happens if something gets messed up. Okay, so 57 divided by 9, divide, multiply, subtract, check, bring down. How many 9s are in 5? Well, we had that before, right? None. So I look at 57. Is this the exact same problem that I had before? Oh, it is. Isn't that funny? All right, let me show you what happens if we mess it up. And so I look at how many 9s are in 57. Well, let's say I say 5. 5. Then I multiply. 5 times 9 is 45. And I subtract and get 12. This number is bigger than this number. So I did something wrong, right? I did my dividing wrong because I could get closer to 57. 5 times 9 is 45, but 9 times 6 is going to get us closer, right? And when we do that, let's rewind. When we do a 6 here, then that's going to equal 54. We're going to subtract, and then now we can check, right? Yep, this is smaller than this. So that checking is important. All right. Let's do that. I want you to do one, and then I want to check it with you. 92 divided by 4. All right. Take a moment. Write it on your paper. Go through those steps. Go as far as you can. All right. Here we go. Check your work. Now, if you didn't do it, I can't help you as much, right, if you're not trying. So I really want you to make sure that you're doing these problems. Here we have how many 4s are in 9? 4, 8, 12. Okay, so only 2. 4, 8. 2 4s. Divide, multiply, subtract, check, bring down. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Multiply. 4 times 2 equals 8. I'm going to go a little faster here because you've already done the work. Subtract and get 1. 1 is smaller than 4. Check. Bring down the 2. Right next there. Go back to the top. Divide. Dividing by 4. All right. You can make that a little bit better if you want to see it like that. 12 divided by 4 equals 3. The answer to a multiplication or a division problem goes on the top. Don't put the 3 here. The 3 on the top. 3 times 4 is 12. And there is no remainder here. Divided, multiplied, I subtracted. 0 is smaller than 4, and there's no bringing down left. So my answer is 23. All right, you're going to have some problems of these to do on your own. A couple will have remainders, some will not. And it's going to be your job to practice those, right? If you want to wait until after a live session or a chance to talk about those, you can certainly do that. All right, fourth graders, this is more about dividing, the end of the second part of lesson 6.4. If you have any questions, reach out and let me know. And good luck.